Hey everyone, I'm Mark,
And I'm Alex.
and this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks. Welcome everyone to the Final Stop Final Fantasy Talks podcast. We're going to go ahead and just keep going with our whole Blitzball thing. Sad face, it is our last episode for the Blitzball. So for those who haven't been liking it, well, maybe that's good news. For those who have, it's sad just as it is for us. Now, before we get into it, we'll just kind of give a rundown what we have planned for this episode. We are going to finish off all our all-star teams, which of course we'll go over that here in a moment. Then we're going to just kind of, just wrap up Blitzball as a whole, right? Just kind of some general different aspects, maybe some favorite things. Obviously, Alex and I, we're just going to be reminiscing about all the Blitzball we've played over the past couple decades. And then, of course, just final thoughts on the game itself. What do we actually think? We've talked about it before, but we'll just run through it one more time. So without further ado, our all-star team. Now, we started this way back. We've been picking about one player an episode. We're kind of building a team that is meant to just destroy. We want to destroy everything, man. We want these rewards.
Yep.
We may even hate Blitzball, and we just want it to be over with. So we need a team that's going to destroy. Levels 1 through 30 is our only focus. And then only, because it's kind of like, maybe just trying to get the rewards, only through the moon flow is what we're kind of limiting ourselves. So not all players are available. We also kind of realize this is kind of just, this is kind of fanciful in the idea that you'd even be able to get some of the players that we've been picking right away. You'd have to do so much work to get them first. But,
That's true.
In a perfect world, if you were able to just draft them, that's kind of what we're going with.
Some of them are kind of hard to get. So far we've got a pretty decent team developed here. I mean, so we got one forward each. Shammy for me, Wedge for you. Got our centers, Kyuri and Grav.
Oh, yeah.
Grav is an interesting choice, man.
He's great, man. I'm telling you. Look at his stats at those levels.
True.
He's a beast.
Defender, we at least got our one defender. I got Rop, and then Mark has Zalits. And funny enough, we both have the same goalie here with Miyu. Guess gonna start off with defender. Which one'd you go with?
This was eating at my soul over the last weeks that we've been planning the next episode for this. I'm split, man. I've been pulled in every which direction. I've analyzed, I looked at all the stats. I can't get past Rop, man. It's gotta be Rop. How do you not select Rop? Look, the crazy thing is his attack isn't actually even that great in the beginning. I mean, mixed with everything else it is, but the stat is, there's much stronger attack stats, but it's everything as we talked about. It's his block, it's his endurance, it's the fact that he comes with like 15,000 techniques that are very useful right away, and it's just like, all of that together, he is a beast.
And he's such a well-rounded player. It's a no-brainer, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I'm kind of with you on that as well. I've been thinking a lot about this and actually been kind of trying to think of some maybe less conventional choices.
Sure.
Somebody that, a lot of people wouldn't think of. I actually decided to go with Kulukin
Okay.
with Silica Beast.
Yes.
She has some crazy attack. Yeah, I don't know if it's Kulukin.
Kulukin's just fun to say, man. You're Kulukin about Kulukin.
Yeah, exactly. So that's who I decided to go with. Of course, kind of similar to you with Grav. You'd have to sort of do the simulated games quite a bit, right? Or the exhibitions to run out their contracts so you could get them. But these are really cheap players as well, so it's kind of rounds out the rest of the team. Even though Kulukin's really, really good at the end, level 99, she's pretty darn good in the beginning as well.
She is. She starts out well. Funny enough, like some of the only other defenders matched with her that have better are like Balgurda, or Dorm. Some of the Luca goers, we bag on them, but guys, they are some of the best players in the very beginning of the game. They're up there and they grow real well. The other thing with Kulukin, she's just like Rop. She comes with Brawler, and elite defense.
Yeah.
So she starts with both of those right off the bat. That is just going to be so helpful.
Yep, exactly. She's always really annoying to play the Kilika Beasts. So that's how you know she's a good defender.
Yeah, you know when you don't like that player because you just hate going against them. All right, man, we got one last player. It's a forward. It's open. We kind of teased it last time. Well, are you just going to select Titus? It's kind of like, well, I don't know. So, dude, I'm really curious. You've been hinting that maybe you're not going that route. So I just want to hear it, man. Who did you choose?
Titus would be the no-brainer here. But I guess the theme of today is Killica Beasts. As I'm going with Larbite.
Arbite, yes.
You know what? I know this is only levels 1 through 30,
Sure.
but hey, he ends up with 99 shoot. Come on.
Yeah, and honestly, he's good enough at the beginning. The other forward with Shami, yeah, it's totally gonna be fine. You got some choices here, man. I've been split because Titus, honestly, how can you not go with Titus? And, he's kind of a purist with the forward. I gotta take it old school. And let me tell you, there's this little sweet honey I got back in Besaid Village. You wanna know her name? Her name is Volucha, okay? I'm going with Volucha. I love Volucha. I always got her every time. Volucha and Shami just about, but Volucha for sure.
It's like high school sweetheart or something.
She's got eyes of the bluest skies. I mean, gosh, guys, come on. You see what she's wearing? It was just too enticing, but nah, she has great shoot, great endurance. Although it doesn't grow pretty much this entire level span of 1 to 30, she does start with 9 attack as well, so that is quite good and good block. So, I mean, she's just always stealing the ball from forwards, always getting it back from even, defenders and stuff. She's a monster.
Gotta head all the way back to Besaid to get Volucha.
It's gonna be a long walk.
Well, it's a long way. Sweet home Besaid.
Yes. All right, well, dude, that was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. It was just really kind of fun to build a fantasy team like that. I think Alex and I even mentioned before that we used to, do fantasy drafts on NFL, NFL games and stuff like that. We just really love getting into stats. It's just so much fun with the team building.
Yeah, and you know what? Looking at our teams put together here, I think it'd actually be a pretty good game. So actually pretty well balanced teams. I think it would come down to some RNG luck.
Yep, lots of techniques there as well. So it would just be it would just be hitting hard right off the bat, with everything. All right, well, let's get on. We're gonna maybe touch back to this every once in a while. We just kind of wanted to take some final thoughts, some final moments, talk about this mini game, wrap it up, right? Just some general stop and chatting about Blitzball as a whole, as we often just do when we meet up or talk or whatever. We always get into Blitzball usually. I was just thinking about this, some good questions for all us to think about, right? What is your favorite part or aspect of the game of Blitzball? I think about it for a little bit. I was like, man, what's one thing? What is the one thing that draws me to it?
For me, I like the customization. I think the customization is pretty deep in this minigame, especially as a minigame to the main story and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you can do in it, right? Especially once you unlock the end of the game and have basically free reign throughout Spira. We've spent a lot of time talking about the stats, the players, all of the abilities, different categories, different game mechanics, and everything. So there's a lot to cover. I like the depth of the game.
Yeah. For me, dude, it's gotta be the amount of stats for these players. We just mentioned games like Madden. Madden 2005 and 7, I think, were ones that we played a ton. And the stats are the stats. Yes, there's different ways and they kind of can change, but the stats are the stats. And this, though, it's like, man, you get these players and you can actually grow your team. It's like really cool. It's not like this, okay, you got these players on your team and there you go, that's your team, and that's just how they perform. It's like, no, they actually grow, and the changing of the stats becomes frustrating sometimes, becomes fantastically surprising. You're like, oh my gosh, Keepa, what's going on with your shoot? I think that's so cool with it, because that took some time, that took some intentionality. That wasn't just like, okay, let's just randomize some stats. Okay, I want Larbait, dude. This guy, he's going to be the best attacking forward. Okay, I'm sure they probably had some rules and parameters they had to stick themselves. And he's like, yeah, let's just, all right. And then he's going to grow. Oh, that's going to dip. That's going to, they had to have had fun with it, especially characters like Mep, right?
No, for real. They definitely threw in some curveballs as far as the how the stats grow and how they change over time. Yeah, just all of the different strategies that you can use with the players and the formations too. I even forgot to mention that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with that. What is your least favorite thing? That's another interesting one. This is something I kind of thought quite a bit about.
The more I've spent in Blitzball here over this past, a little bit of going through the Final Fantasy X series and stuff, I've probably thought about Blitzball way more than I did in the decades before, right, combined. The least favorite thing for me is maybe two. It's tied. One, it's the AI. I wish it was harder. I wish it was just more challenging. You know, it's way too easy to abuse and use. And I know that's a lot of different games and stuff,
It's
but
true.
some are just challenging games, right? You know, and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like a small niche. No, I mean, it's not this little obscure technique we're using, man. We're literally like going through breaking one player, pulling the others, and scoring. Like, it's very easy, you know. It's like,
Oh,
or
yeah,
you just
yeah.
get Dado and just run circles around and hurt them all together.
And that makes it boring.
It
That's the
does.
problem with that. It's
It
too
does,
easy
because it's
once you
too
know what
easy to
you're
just
doing.
abuse. Then you're like, well, playing the game normally, so I don't know going up the center, that'll never work then. That's not fun. So I don't know. Wish the
Yeah.
AI was a little bit more. And then I also I wish there was more variety in like the games themselves. You know, maybe more teams would be cool, or just maybe they had like our draft where you could actually draft. I know some of these things would have been a lot of work, but or maybe in
Oh, man.
two-player, having it be two-player
That
and
would be
stuff. I know it's kind of least favorite is something that's not included in it, but it's just like, it really missed the mark there with that. That would have been fantastic.
No, those are a lot of really good ideas. Those are the same kind of things that I would say as far as, something that we'll get to, particularly when it comes to improvements that I think would be really cool. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Really one of the ways that you can make it more challenging is something like what you did, where you basically made, an all Ronso team. And yeah, when you're playing as them, it's actually almost impossible, right? So that's
Goes to
the
the
opposite side
opposite
of
end
like
of the
too
spectrum.
easy, too hard. So it's kind of hard to give yourself a challenge in this game. Aside from just sticking with the Besaid Aurochs is a pretty decent challenge. For me, honestly, it's kind of always the case with anything that has any sort of element of randomness to it. The RNG just drives me crazy in this game sometimes. Seriously, it feels like it's just deliberately trolling you, with some of these things that happen where somebody should have blocked it and they don't even hit it, or your tackle does barely any damage or whatever.
The swings will just go crazy, and it's like, yep, all
Exactly.
right. It's almost like I've become numb at this point. I'm like, yep, of course you got it. Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
But yeah, it wasn't like that in the beginning. There was definitely some frustration of, what? Are you kidding
Yep.
me? That it's,
But it's exactly like you said. That's always the reaction I have. It's just I don't even have the energy to get that angry about
yeah,
it anymore.
it's
So
not
I'll sit there and
disbelieving. It's like, yes, of course you
yeah,
did.
yeah, exactly. I'll just be like, "Yep, of course you blocked it. Why not?"
Why wouldn't you somehow only take my 20 shoot down to 18? Yes.
Yeah, sometimes like Nimruk catches like 5 over what his normal catch. It's like, are you kidding
Yeah, as
me,
if it's not high enough. It's like, thanks, man.
dude? How are you gonna do that right now?
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it every
Yeah,
time as well, because they
that's
get
that
seem to
kind of
go on
thing.
those kicks where they just start going on tears, man, getting these stat increases like crazy. Well, that does bring us then on what could maybe be an improvement, one or two improvements that maybe we'd like to see. Obviously, mine's gonna be the AI, right? Just some
Mhm.
tweaks there. See, I don't know. I don't know how it's even coded and how it works and all that stuff, but maybe improve the speed stat in general. Maybe just improve it, because it's too like, speed is key. And we've talked about this many times. Like,
Mhm.
speed really, really does matter the most over anything, because that means you could
Yeah.
just get away. I mean, that's all it means, at least for scoring. That kind of sucks, you know. And mentioning the Ronso team and stuff, like, because their speed, they are useless to actually play. That kind of sucks, you know? It's like, gosh, this is just kind
Mhm.
of a worthless team because they're just too slow.
It'd be kind of cool if you could do like an entire spin-off. I mean, after
Yeah.
with all the things that you could do with Blitzball, honestly, it was kind of going back to what you were saying. You came up with some really good ideas there, where had the idea of a fantasy draft. And another thing would be extra leagues, tournaments, things like that with different prizes. One of the things I really hate about Blitzball is having to wait for the random league prizes to be what you want them to be, or tournament, or whatever it is. Why not just make a whole bunch of different leagues with fixed prizes, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, think about it. If you could just make a game, it basically would be a whole new game. Like, do something where you go around Spirit and you can recruit players that weren't even previously recruitable. It'd be cool. I mean, we're talking like a whole new game at this point, but it would just be so many possibilities.
Yes. And one that might not be as widely popular as we want it to be. You must like our sport, guys. Our esports the best. It's Blitzball. Ever
Yes.
heard of it? But
I
no,
think it'd be cool though
dude, it would
if
be
they added all
so
that stuff
cool.
to it.
I would play
Yeah,
it.
if they
I'd
added
love it.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot more popular. Just make it more fun and less tedious, you know?
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's the thing. Like you said, it would have to be a standalone. It would have to be because it's already so large as it is. You wouldn't be able to just do a mod or something. I mean, they could do a whole Blitzball thing, do so much for it. That'd be awesome. You need to write into your local state reps. No, I mean, let's get this
yeah.
done. Squeenix, you are forced to make this.
Yeah, we need to sign a bill on this, to be
Let's get a
honest.
bill.
This needs to happen.
The Blitzball bill. Someone needs to make this. You're losing out on money
Yeah.
here. I'm just trying to give my money away.
One other thing, kind of wanted to go over this, our last Blitzball episode. We didn't run a poll, but I was kind of curious if there was anything out there in forums or FAQs or, chats or anything like that that basically has kind of the same stuff that we've been talking about. Who's your favorite players, player tier list, all of this kind of stuff. I found a really funny one. This was done a while ago, and the prompt was, who is the player you just can't live without? And so they got 84 votes. What do you think of the results?
You all listening, I'll give you one guess who won substantially. Can you guess? No? Well, yes, it's your boy. It's my story Blitzball Titus. Yes, it's him.
This
He
is
won.
my story.
It makes sense. I've used a lot of these players. Brother was
Yeah.
in second, and I mean seriously, you can't deny his starting stats. They're just insane. If you didn't play Blitzball until the end of the game, and you picked up Brother, you're just gonna be smoking everyone with him.
And I think a lot of these players too, Titus and Brother, they're personalities, right? They're kind of like standout characters as well.
Yeah, true.
The rest of them on here, I mean, so we didn't give you guys, the list, the options, but you can pretty much already guess with a lot of these. In third place, we've got Nimruk.
Yeah.
No-brainer there, 11.9%. It's just interesting, like Titus has 43% of the votes. Brother has 18% basically. Nimruk 20, or 12. Rop sitting at 8.33. I like that. That's so interesting to me. That shows that even though Rop is a defender and not really part of the story at all, is still one of the favorite players in the game.
He's the only defender that made it to the top of this list. There is an other category and all that, but it just shows some of these, they're just popular characters. These players are just good, and everyone recognizes it, kind of a deal.
And did you see you got Lina on there? Lina got 3 votes.
Yeah, good old Lina.
Wedge is on there. Larbite is on there. And Nav Guado got 0. Oh, man, come on, guys. I love Nav. And then there was this other one, too, kind of similar to the last one, except this is just basically as far as who is your favorite out of the best forwards in the game? And so your favorite, not who you think is best for the stats. And no difference here, really, right? Titus.
Another landslide. All right, guys. I'll give you one choice. Who do you think was the
7 out of 10.
favorite forward? All right, can't guess it. Yes, it's your boy. I choke on spaghetti, Titus. He definitely murdered this.
Yeah, exactly. Who else we got here? Larbite. My boy Larbite came in second with 6 votes. Kind of funny. Titus. I don't know why I'm saying Titus. Titus has 70%. Lena's on here as well. Shami, Volucha, Iskin. I also find that was kind of funny too. Waka, about as popular as Iskin. So.
Well, can we also talk about the fact that Nedis got, or Nedis or whatever, you got 2 votes? No, the favorite. Yeah. I know we're not talking about who's the best, but still favorite. You love swimming around at 30 speed for most of his Blitzball career. No way.
That was painful. And then I was able to find this tier list, and it's kind of funny, guys. Like, it's everything that we've been talking about. In your God tier, you've got Nimruk, Rop, Kalukin, Viroja, Waka, Titus, Larbite, Brother, Wedge, Ku. You got Volucha. Got Volucha on there, Lina.
Yeah, this is an interesting chart. It goes from A to F, and then you got Z for undecided. And
I don't know why. I think they were trolling with that. Honestly, they all should be in F. They should be in F.
The Luca goers, undecided. Oh, they get. This is the thing, and as we know, it's very hard to just generalize a score for these players because most of them, almost all of them, are either good in the beginning, bad at the end, bad at the beginning, good at the end. Rarely any of them are like, yes, they're just bad all the way through, or yes, they're just really good all the way through. Very few, so it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, Dorum is undecided. It's like, well, beginning of the game, she's good. Put her in master. End of the game, It's F. It's disastrous. It's like, no, she's terrible.
Yeah, I've actually just noticed some on here I'd really disagree with. For example, Jasu Bada and Map in E tier, but Keepa in D tier. Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry, Keepa definitely deserves an E. Durin needs to be an E. I'm sorry, Durin is not decent. Miyu is actually skillful. I don't know why Miyu's in decent either. I would put Miyu in C.
Yes.
Uh,
This would be very
Nidus as
interesting
well.
building our own lists and be like,
Yeah,
compare
we
them.
should do a video on that one of these days too. Because again, with like Nidus as well, like I get it, but he's not skillful until like literally the very end. So I put him at probably gonna get some hate for that, but I would say like E, honestly. Because for the most part, he is pretty much talentless. But anyways,
Yes.
yeah, we should do that one of these. We'll have to do our own tier
We'll
list.
do it. Yeah. Some content down the line for us to do. See what people think. Very interesting. All right. Well, we got some final thoughts on the Blitzball minigame. We are to an end with it, everyone. It is sad. I mean, really probably won't talk about it anymore because we've gone over all the players in the story, so that's just about it. Now, here's the thing, as we kind of started for all this, way back to our first Blitzball episode, probably way back to the first time we talked about Blitzball in our normal episodes, this game is not for everyone, is it?
No, that's definitely one of the things I've noticed is that you got everybody with this kind of game. You got the people who genuinely enjoy it, love it, max out all their characters, and then you've got the people who don't play it at all, they don't get any of the items or anything. And just people who basically get the key items, get the prizes, and then that's about it.
Love it or hate it, I mean, it is kind of part of the game. I mean, even if you wanted to just get attack reels or something, kind of like what we talked about on why we even built our all-star game, on why you want to do this is, yeah, you're kind of forced, you got to get some of Waka's reels and stuff. You got to do it if you want it. And so, everyone probably has played it at some point, but I could see if you really didn't like it, that's got to really suck because, I mean, some great things are there that could only obviously be attained by Blitzball.
And that's the other thing. They do kind of incorporate it pretty well, I will say. It's not like this random minigame side quest that just comes out of nowhere. Blitzball is a core component of the main storyline. They introduce it in the main storyline where they give you that game where you kind of have to win. That was another thing. There was a lot of hate on that, and I understand that too. I mean, people saying that it should have been a scripted game. I don't know. In a way, I kind of like that. It puts you into it, and it sort of exposes you to it, and it's sort of like a tutorial game.
It is. It opens up early. It's very intentional with opening up, and it's just huge. I mean, again, this mini game is not a mini game. Like, it is a huge, huge thing. There's no way we can spend, what is this, maybe the 8th or 9th episode on the Blitzball series? We would not be able to spend this much time on any other mini game in any Final Fantasy. No way. It's great, man. I think it's one of the best mini games, and I was so excited to actually be able to do this. And because we were playing in the episodes beginning, like there's no way that we could talk about Blitzball just naturally in the episodes. Like it's just way too much.
No, I love it too. It's one of my favorite mini games of all time in the Final Fantasy series. It's honestly like it's kind of a shame that there's nothing left to talk about with it. We pretty much covered everything. Talked about it ad nauseum. It has been great, and I think we really covered it well.
Absolutely. I think we did it justice. We definitely got some things wrong, I'm sure, and probably misspoke about some things, but we're definitely not know-it-alls, but we love it enough to dive in deep and research. I've never looked that much into Blitzball before and analyzed the stats,
exactly.
And we built those character cards. It really was a motivating factor for that, and so, just such great stuff. All right, well, that is going to do it for us in this last Blitzball episode. Of course, our regular just walkthrough of 10 is continuing on, so no fret there, but this is coming to an end. It's sad. Oh, it saddens us. We, of course, like to thank you all, though, for listening and just hanging out, supporting the podcast. We really do appreciate it. It's such a cool thing that we're able to do this and that people are actually interested in what we have to say, so that's pretty cool. Check out our website at finalstopfinalfantasytalks.com. We just kind of have links to everything and just our hub for more info, blog. Obviously, our Blitzball corner's over there, so definitely go check that out. Lots of info. Huge resource for Blitzball, because I'm just passionate. All right, well, we'll catch you all in the next one. I'm Mark.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks.